Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. UPI reports that the United States has blacklisted 3 individuals, 17 entities, and 9 oil tankers, accusing them of forming an Iranian oil network that aids in evading sanctions. This action by the Trump administration aims to cut off Iran's primary revenue source amidst ongoing negotiations to end a war. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent emphasized that the Treasury would continue to target Iran's illicit smuggling and terror proxy networks, warning financial institutions of secondary sanctions risks. State Department Principal Deputy Spokesperson Thomas Pigott stated the move decisively limits Iran's ability to generate revenue while it attempts to hold the Strait of Hormuz hostage. The U.S. has also enforced a military blockade of Iranian ports, a key point of contention as a 2-week ceasefire approaches its end. President Donald Trump, in his second term, has reinstated his maximum pressure campaign against Iran, which previously led to sanctions against key figures like Shamkhani. Recent events include U.S. and Israeli attacks that obliterated Iran's nuclear program and killed senior Iranian officials, including Ali Shamkhani and Khamenei, sparking the current conflict. According to UPI, South Korea is positively considering participating in talks led by Britain and France regarding a naval mission for the Strait of Hormuz. The virtual gathering, hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Friday, aims to ensure free and safe passage through the vital waterway. A senior official from Kangwon-dae stated that President Lee Jae Macron is preparing to deliver a message covering energy supply chains, Seoul's position on the Middle East, and the importance of international solidarity in safeguarding navigation in the strait. South Korea has previously engaged in related consultations, including a France-led video conference for top military officials in March and a Britain-led ministerial meeting in April. The United States is not expected to attend the upcoming leader-level meeting, and China's participation remains unconfirmed. UPI reports that 2 U.S. nationals, Kea Tony Wang, 42, and Zhenxing Danny Wang, 39, both from New Jersey, have been sentenced to federal prison. They were found guilty of operating a sophisticated scheme that enabled North Korean operatives to obtain remote IT jobs with American companies, ultimately generating millions of dollars for Pyongyang's weapons programs. The laptop farm operation utilized stolen American identities, allowing overseas North Korean IT personnel to appear U.S.-based. This scheme involved identities from at least 80 individuals and produced over $5 million in revenue for the North Korean government, while U.S. companies incurred at least $3 million in losses and exposed sensitive data. Kea Wang received a 9-year sentence, and Zhenxing Wang was sentenced to 7 years and 8 months, along with a $200,000 restitution order. Both were also ordered to forfeit $600,000 in proceeds. NTD News reports that the European Union is moving forward with measures to restrict children's access to social media platforms. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen officially announced on Wednesday that the EU's new age verification application for online platforms will soon be made available. This initiative aims to help governments across Europe regulate and limit young users' exposure to social media content. The California Supreme Court has disbarred John Eastman, former President Donald Trump's lawyer, due to his role in the so-called fake electors scheme to overturn the 2020 election, UPI reports. Eastman, 65, was also ordered to pay a $5,000 sanction to the State Bar of California Client Security Fund. Eastman was identified as a key architect of the plan to replace legitimate electors for President Joe Biden with fraudulent ones supporting Trump in several swing states. He also promoted the unfounded claim that then Vice President Mike Pence had the authority to delay or stop Biden's certification. State Bar Chief Trial Counsel George Cardona emphasized that the ruling upholds the fundamental principle that attorneys must act with honesty and adhere to the rule of law. The investigation into Eastman began in September 2021, leading to 11 disciplinary charges in January 2023. California State Bar Judge Yvette Rowland found Eastman culpable for 10 of these charges in March 2024, recommending disbarment. Her decision was affirmed in July of the same year. Jeffrey Clark, another lawyer facing disbarment in Washington for similar actions, criticized the ruling as a travesty and indicative of a two-tiered system of justice. Eastman, Clark, and Trump were among 19 co-defendants in a Georgia RICO case related to alleged election interference, which was later dropped after Trump won the 2024 election. In November 2025, Trump pardoned Eastman, Clark, and other allies involved in efforts to overturn the 2020 election. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.